My name is Aysha Mati, but a lot of people in the crowd call me Mati because Aysha is too common a name. और आप आयशा बोलते हैं तो पीछे से मुड़ के भेड़, बकरी, मुर्गी सब बोलते हैं. So hands up in the crowd, who is called Aysha? See, we always have at least one. Always got at least one. So today, my poetry is very small, but the precursor to it is sort of me giving you a little bit of an idea of where it comes from and the things that I experienced. And I'm going to be talking about three things: growth, appreciation, and self-doubt, and how all of these things came together to make for an extremely overwhelming experience on the day that I graduated. So where does this all start? This starts when I was picking the university that I was going to. So I had the options of University A and University B. University A has the reputation for being studious and University B does not. And at this point in time, my father sees ambition for women as like it's like an extra byproduct that's like nice to have, you know, like aap manice ho jate ho, you make a purchase and then they give you like that extra thing and you're like, this is nice, but you know, it's not particularly something that you were exactly looking for. But my goal at this point in time is like, I have to change his mind. For me, I wanted him to validate my ambition somehow. I don't know how, but I wanted to do this. And I took about by saying I'm going to University A because it has a studious reputation, and this is where my journey with communication and image begins. Before I start all of this, I'm going to say that I'm working in communications and content, but I quit my job in July because I was not happy. And I decided I want to take some time to figure things out. And I'm still figuring things out. And I wanted to include this right now because I know there's a lot of people in the audience that are a little bit lost trying to figure out their life. And that has been me for a while. And I want to particularly let you know this because it's okay to be figuring things out, to not be CEO of everything and to not have it figured out. We're still working towards it, and that's okay. So growth-wise, I spent all 4 years of my bachelor's trying to figure out how to prove to my father that my ambition is not just valid, but something that you have drive for. You know, like it's not a Miniso byproduct. It's like something that I actively want, like I want this. So I signed up for every society, every event, every which whatever. And at the end, it turned out pretty well because on my graduation ceremony, I was being given an academic award and a medal around my neck. So this was something that I felt like, I was like, yes, I'm like finally doing this. Like I can prove to him that this is working. So if I describe my relationship with my father, यहाँ पे खुस्से किसको पसंद है? Okay, सही है. So I'm not talking about खुस्से, none of that like cushion wala stuff. Like I'm talking zari khussa, like Raja Bazaar wala, you know, the one that they flip like an omelette and they smack together like this before handing it over. I'm talking about those. तो उस खुस्से में आपको बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, you know, like you first put it on and it looks good, but it's a little bit tight, it's like, it's stiff, right? But you have to spend a little bit of time with it, you know, like push and pull, like with it, in order for it to fit with your feet, you know, and it meets you halfway. I think my relationship with my father is very similar. There was a lot of pushing, there was a lot of pulling, like we don't, you know, and it took some time to get to the point where we meet each other halfway, but we've done it. Alhamdulillah, that's really good. And I wanted at that time the relationship that I have with him now, which is we can have discourse about anything. And if I say कि मुझे XYZ चीज़ पसंद है, तो he'll say तुम शायद ये समझती होगी. I disagree, but सही है, तुम समझती होगी. So he acknowledges my opinion, but he doesn't necessarily have to agree with it. And there's an environment of respect in that conversation, and I really appreciate that about him. And it goes both ways. Credit to him, credit to me, credit to both of us for, you know, making this khussa, you know, fit really well. So on the day that I was graduating, I was really overwhelmed. कि, you know, मैंने 4 साल लगाए हैं काम करने में. Like my parents are sitting here. So जब pictures का time आया, you know, we're taking pictures, my mother's smiling, you know, I'm smiling, and my father's kind of like this on all the pictures. तो मैंने अम्मा से पूछा, मैंने कहा क्या हुआ, you know, like, is he not happy that like medal क्या चक्कर है? So she says कि नहीं, we came a little bit late. तो बाबा थोड़ा सा लेट आए, तो you know, we didn't have any seats left, so they wanted to put him like upper in the auditorium, थोड़ा दूर करके. So he got mad. He went like कि नहीं, मेरी बेटी को medal मिल रहा है, मैं क्यों ना सामने बैठूं? And on the surface, I'm like, oh my God, my father went full caravan. And on the inside, I was like, yes, this is what I wanted. wanted. This is what I actively wanted. I wanted him to want my validation and celebrate my ambition enough to actually feel angry about it. It wasn't a mini, so like, oh, nice job, like, you know, like you graduated, nice job. It was like, I'm so happy for you, good job. And that was really surprising for me, and I was really happy about it. And I'm gonna move on to the second part, which is appreciation. So appreciation is really important in regard to the people that surround you, but in particular at this point in time, I'm going to talk about the women in my life. To my mother, who has given me this space and understanding to become who I am today, to the sister that I have, to the sisters that I've gained through my brothers. And in particular, right now, I'm going to talk about 3 women that I had the pleasure of meeting and sort of congregating with during university. And I love them both. I love all 3 of them for it because they are the best part of that experience. The first one was I met her in one of the classes because the first weekend, she seemed to have really unique insight in all of the classes. And then I just decided, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be friends with this girl. And then I just plopped down next to her, and she's one of the smartest people I know, and she's taught me so many things, from learning how to use chopsticks to skincare. Like, she teaches me about things that I didn't even know I needed to learn about. The second one is somebody that has a lot of love in their heart and always has, she's in this crowd somewhere, but I don't think I know anybody that carries so much love around and just looks like they carry so much love around, because they always treat everybody with respect, and she always has an empathetic view of things. And I learned so much from her about other people that she doesn't even know. I wish all of these people knew how much I appreciate their existence for what they add to mine. And the last one is, so I'm a garbage dumb idiot, okay? I don't understand math. So मेरे लिए बहुत मुश्किल था जब 4 साल की आप degree करते हो and you think you're going in for like communications or something, and then they're like, entry test में maths पढ़ो. So it was hard for me. So during my degree, it was a very hard time learning math for me also. So the last friend she's a very smart woman, and there were a lot of people around us, even in our class, that did not want to help you in math or in any subject because they were like, मैं इसकी help क्यों करूं, because this person could rise above me. And she never thought that. I appreciate her to this day, because रात के 12 बजे handwritten practice questions मुझे और कौन लिख के देगा. And it was, I believe to this day, it was because of her that I even graduated. If not for her, I would not be sitting in that seat waiting for a medal around my neck. So everything that I am a product of the people around me. So I appreciate her so much. And so the last thing I'm going to talk about is self-doubt, of which I have a lot. Clearly, you can tell this by looking at me. And I think when I was sitting there in that auditorium waiting for all of this to happen, thinking about my friends that uplifted me, thinking about how my relationship with my parents grew during that time and how everything was sort of coming together, it was a very overwhelming experience, because I had spent the bulk of my life telling myself that I was stupid. Because I went to a school जहाँ पे आप medical में थे, engineering में थे, या आप business में थे, and if you were not a part of these boxes, you were a glitch in the system. And I was a glitch in the system. And I thought I was maybe just dumb or unworthy, and I made myself believe all of those things, even though everything was telling me the opposite. So when I'm sitting here in this auditorium waiting for this to happen, I can no longer deny that I did make an effort. I did get there by making all of that effort. And I was so overwhelmed by it. Because it's like, have you guys seen that internet video jahan pe there's this little baby and he has a hearing defect, and he gets like his first hearing aid and he hears his mother's voice and he starts crying? That was me, because that was me looking at me and my accomplishment for the very first time without saying that I didn't deserve it. So I guess the point here is growth can come from the places that you least expect it. Appreciation of the people around you is really, really important, because who else would uplift you this way? And self-doubt is always going to be there. So take that embarrassing moment of bravery. take that step. I know there's somebody, maybe each single person in this crowd that is holding back on doing something because they feel like शायद मुझसे नहीं होगा, मैं अच्छा नहीं करूँगा या करूँगी या you should do it. Because if it doesn't matter that all of those people appreciated me and all of those people believed in me, if I don't believe in me, the most important person to do that for me is me. And this has to be for you. You have to do this for yourself. So I don't know you, but I believe in you. And I know that chand tare aap tod ke nahi la sakte, but you can take the first step. Just take the first step and things will change for you. So this is my embarrassing moment of bravery, handing over to you so you can have your embarrassing moment of bravery, hopefully, after this. So here's not a very good segue into the poetry that I was actually supposed to do. And the background to all of that was all of this and this overwhelming experience. So here goes. This is a piece that I keep coming back to every few years. It's called Boondh Boondh Qatra Qatra. बूंद बूंद कतरा कतरा दरिया बनता है, आंसुओं की नमी से दिल की जंजीरों पर ताला पड़ता है। अपनी बेबसी के साए में चलती रहती हूँ, यूं ही खुद को कोसती रहती हूँ। दिल ने खुशी को पहचानना छोड़ दिया, दिमाग ने तहम्मुल का साथ छोड़ दिया। जिस दिन का लेकिन इंतज़ार था वो आखिर आ ही गया। बस यूं ही चलते चलते खुली आंखों में जाग आ गई, खुद की मजबूती का एहसास हुआ और दिल में जान आ गई। बूंद बूंद कतरा कतरा दरिया बनता है। खुदाई पर भरोसे और ख़ुद पर यकीन का सबब आखिर आईने का अक्स ही होता है। And these eyes have stared into the blazing heat of the morning sun, and this heart continues to swell at the sight of dawn. But the surest fact amidst all of it is this: the smallest bit of kindness, the smallest bit of intimacy is felt with the profound depth by only the likes of us. Every trickle, every leap, and every moment is lived 1,000-fold, even when the stories in all of these eyes remain untold. Thank you very much. And I don't know where Gina is or if she's here. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Yeah. Yeah? Okay, okay. Thank you.